Something that is unique to my artistic voice is my color palette and my ability to paint landscape photos with a unique combination of colors. Hi, my name is Madeline, and I am an artist and content creator on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. While I'm getting my paper prepped, I wanted to share the reference photo that we will be painting together today. It is this beautiful sunrise morning. The sky is just beautiful, colorful, and we have a snowy mountain sort of in our midground, and I'm just so excited to paint this photo. To really capture that beautiful sunrise sky, we are going to be using wet on wet technique today. I have a mop brush right here, and I am only going to wet the sky. That is where we are going to have our beautiful watercolors blending together, and I am making sure to leave a silhouette for our mountains. They are going to be white, so we will be using negative space to essentially highlight our mountains. I'm now switching over to a round brush to get the color into the sky. This is a warm yellow ochre, and I'm going to start off on the horizon, just dropping in a little bit of yellow. By painting our sky and dropping the colors on wet paper instead of dry paper, it helps all the colors to really blend into each other, and you don't see any hard lines as the colors are next to each other. Now I'm going to grab a few shades of pink to add above the yellow. I'm just using my round brush right now to further define the mountains just a little bit more. And now I am picking up a warm purple, and I'm just going to add it to the top left-hand corner, and I'm going to let those colors sort of blend into each other, and I'm going to add a little bit more pink, and this really resembles the colors in our reference photo. This looks perfect to me, so I am going to grab my hot air tool and I am going to dry our sky. Now I am going to grab some blue, a darker blue, and I am going to water it down with a little bit of water, and I'm going to add a little bit of indigo. And with these two colors, I'm going to start painting the tops of our mountains. I am going to do that by very lightly tapping my brush at the very top corner and sort of pulling that brush stroke down. It's a little bit like dry brushing, but without as creamy of a paint mixture. I'm going to add more of that dark blue mixture to the left side right here. And now I'm going to pick up my Da Vinci Colineo size 0 liner, and I'm going to pick up some Payne's Gray, and we are going to paint the fence that we see over on the right hand side first. So I like using liner brushes when painting small details or fine lines. It is a brush that is a little bit longer, and as a result, it just gets the sharpest lines. And so I'm using that to paint the fence right here. I'm not trying to make the fence perfectly even. I am okay if the lines are a little bit wonky. It kind of makes the fence feel like it's a little bit older and weathered by the snowy elements. And I'm going to do 2 posts between each line, getting smaller as we get further away from us. And now I'm just going to dry the existing paint I have on the paper because I want to paint a fence on the left side and I don't want any of these colors to bleed into each other. One tip to getting really fine lines is to have a watery mixture of paint. If your paint is a little bit too creamy, it's going to be hard to get fine lines. And the second tip would be to not have really any water in that liner brush. You really just want that really watery paint, and you don't want there to be excess water in the brush. Now let's dry off this fence. I'm now picking up the same liner brush but with a bigger size. This is a size 4, and I'm going to paint just a few little tiny trees right here on this left side. There are trees in the reference photo, and I think it just adds a little bit more to the composition to have a darker tree, a few trees on the side to contrast the really light snow. To paint these trees, I'm just making a straight line down, and I'm moving my liner brush left and right to sort of paint the tree branches. So they kind of just look like very tiny little triangles. Now I am picking up my round brush that I used earlier, and I'm going to pick up some very light blue, and I'm just going to make some light brush marks here to signify that this is a road, and this makes it look like the snow is a little bit darker on the sides of the road, and it really helps you focus your eyes to the mountaintops. Once everything is dry, we can remove our masking tape. I really love how this turned out, how soft our sunrise sky is, and the mountains just look so wintry and snowy.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our latest videos.